Welcome back to Becoming Badass. I'm your host, Phoenix. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you're having an amazing holidays. Today we're going to talk about holidays in general, especially Christmas, and a few mistakes you may be making that kind of turn you into a Grinch and stealing your joy and happiness and what to do instead. So you can actually have a holiday full of peace, joy, and love, and spending time with your loved ones. And Christmas is considered to be the happiest time of year, but how many of us, myself included, find that it's very lonely, depressing, and one of the most stressful times of year? What I'm going to share are a few ways that I learned how to stop feeling lonely and depressed around the holidays and start creating a special holiday that's my own, that's not being compared to any Hallmark movies or any idealized version of what we think in our heads a holiday should be. It's so easy to get caught up in this mental place of I need more, give me more, I don't have enough, I need to spend. And instead of making it about what it's really supposed to be, and it's supposed to be about giving and spending precious time with your loved ones. So let's get into it. This podcast is going to help you learn how to stop playing small and people pleasing and overgiving and being too nice to find who you really are and start living as your true self to become the freest, truest, most badass version of yourself. So you can get the love, respect, and the life that you truly desire. Whether that is Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, your birthday, whatever holiday that you have high hopes for, what may be happening is that you have preconceived expectations of how it should look, how it should go, how it should feel, that end up completely sucking all the joy and happiness out of that holiday. I had a bad habit of this because I would idealize what I thought and wanted for that special day, whatever it was, and it basically would ruin the holiday because it could never measure up to what I hoped it would be. If it didn't look the way I thought it should look, happen the way I thought it should happen, or feel the way I thought it should feel, it was a disappointment. And that's what happened when we idealize things. We have this picture-perfect idea of what it should be, look, or feel like in our heads that it actually ruins the holiday itself. Now, I no longer do this, but I did this my entire life. And I'm going to share today on what I did to stop idealizing the holiday and having such impossible expectations to now fully embracing and enjoying each holiday for what it is. And there's also another mistake that can completely ruin your holidays is comparison. It's comparing what you have to what other people have. And it will completely ruin your holiday and really your life if you think this way. But the holidays just magnify it and make it worse. Christmas is really supposed to be the happiest time of year, isn't it? Me personally, it was one of the hardest, painful, and stressful times of year. And especially when you have kids, each year, the expectations and the want to top it from the previous year. This year has to be better than last year. It becomes like this endless cycle of trying to top each year. Some people just completely go into debt because they're trying to make their kids happy and perform like practically a Christmas miracle. And we have all these high expectations of what we expect out of ourselves and what we expect this day to be. And it's just unnecessary. We shouldn't be putting ourselves in debt, trying to make our kids happy and completely stress ourselves out to where it takes away all the beauty and the joy and the happiness that is what the holiday season really is. And when we come back to a place of, you know what, the holiday is the holiday and I don't need to have any expectations. I don't need to top the previous year. I don't need to make it some magical day that goes down in the history book and bring it back to what it's supposed to be. It's about family, closeness, connection, love, peace, celebration. Not about these unrealistic expectations that create so much stress and unhappiness in our lives that are just completely magnified during the holidays. A huge takeaway that I learned is that I needed to stop idealizing the holidays. So for Christmas, Thanksgiving, my birthday, I would want it to be this special, magical thing. Because when I was a kid, it wasn't. It was absolutely nothing when I was a kid. So as an adult, I wanted it to be spectacular. And I would create so much stress trying to make it be this amazing, wonderful thing and letting go of idealizing it as it's supposed to be this special, spectacular day, still make it an amazing day, but without the pressure and the expectations and how it's supposed to look. And just let go and enjoy every moment as possible with those that I love. I went from being one of the most painful and stressful and hardest for me, became a holiday where I could just sit back and enjoy my own family traditions. Like whenever we put up the tree, we have eggnog and cookies. And of course, we watched The Grinch. I used to read the Grinch story to my kids every single night before they went to bed. And of course, watching our favorite holiday movies. It's now a relaxing time I can spend with my children and to just have fun and slow down and be in that moment with them instead of trying to create this idealized, impossible version that doesn't exist. And I stopped trying to top the previous year. So some years I decide to get my kids a really big present. And the next year, I don't put that pressure on me to top the previous year. And another big change that I did was I stopped comparing my holidays and what it looked like to other people's holidays. You know, I stopped focusing, well, I don't really have a big family and I'm not with the love of my life. I stopped focusing on what the movies show you and what you see all around you. Couples smiling and holding hands and being happy, and me and just my kids and my dog. Like that became enough for me to be happy on the holidays. Stop seeing other people's happiness as a deficit in my own life. And instead, I can be happy for them instead of feeling sad that I don't have the same thing. And just appreciating what I do have, because other people may not have what I have. And that's okay. And they have something that I want, and that's okay. All these couples holding hands, kissing on each other. You know how the movies make it that people find love on the holidays and all that gushy stuff. I stopped comparing and thinking, well, why don't I have that? Those things were creating so much pain. I would see my friends' lives that I knew, and they just completely take their family for granted. And it would just kind of piss me off. And then I realized, you know what? They just don't know what it's like to grow up where you don't have that kind of close, loving family that you can lean on and celebrate the holidays with, which is very painful and difficult. I've never had that. And so I've always been jealous of other people that had that, and especially the holidays made it worse. The holidays are like a big, giant magnifying glass that magnifies how you already feel. So if you're already happy when Christmas, New Year's, all that gets here, okay, that's just going to magnify it. If you're already sad and depressed and having a rough time, then the holidays are magnify what you already feel inside. But when we can realize our path is our path, and it doesn't matter what we have, when we start comparing our lives to other people, we create despair. And looking around you and seeing what other people have that you don't have, it only steals your own peace, joy, and happiness and causes unnecessary pain and suffering. But we can look around and see, oh, they have that, they are blessed. And what am I blessed with? Because when we are comparing our lives to other people's lives, we become blind to our own blessings that we have. Even though they may have the family to celebrate the holidays with that I never had, that's okay. Because guess what I have? I have two beautiful, intelligent, amazing kids. And that's something amazing. And my small, tiny family with me and my two daughters and two cats and a dog is enough for me. And my small family will only grow to become bigger. And instead of focusing on what I don't have, I can focus on creating the most amazing relationships and close connected family that I've always dreamed of with my own kids. Comparing just creates despair. I think it's just a habit we all have in some shape or fashion. And it's not serving you, which only creates more pain and suffering by comparing what you have in your life to other people. And we never know what it's like in their life behind closed doors. They may just be smiling and happy, but you really don't know how their life is. It may look like they have an amazing relationship with their partner or their family, but we honestly don't know. We don't know what's in their hearts. When I started focusing on my path as my path, and I shouldn't compare it to other people, and I can be happy for them that they have these amazing, wonderful things. And instead of wishing that I had that family to go to, that close knit, loving family. I can accept that, well, that wasn't my past. And instead, I can create the most amazing, loving, close knit family right now with my children. And that's all I needed. If you're interested in one on one coaching, I only have a couple slots open. So when you're ready to start getting the love and dream relationship that you deeply desire, check out my link below. And finally, the dreaded New Year's resolution. Oh, yuck, right? Why do you need something else to feel bad about? Seriously. I think New Year's resolutions are trash. Okay? Maybe they help you. That's great if they help you. They do not help me. I don't need something else to feel guilty, to feel bad, to beat myself up over. So I decided a long time ago, I don't do New Year's resolutions. What typically happens is people get all gung-ho and, right as January rolls around and they start getting into the gym and changing their diet and doing all these things, and it doesn't last. And then they just end up feeling bad because they failed at something else and it didn't work out. And then that's something else they're beating themselves up about. Our lives are challenging enough. We don't need something else to feel bad about. So this is how I go about doing New Year's resolutions, and that's simply that I don't do them. What I do is I pick one thing that I would like to focus on that's based on something that's important to me, my own values. It's something inside, that a longing, a desire that I have that I haven't had time for, or something that I realize is actually important to me. So one year I focused on self-love, and that's really what I did all year. Is that was my whole focus, was just on self-love, learning how to love myself and take care of myself and put me as my number one. And I focused on that the entire year. And I was really always questioning myself, is this loving to me? And learning to change my focus from focusing on others to focus on myself. And previous years, it's really been about, how do I really create the best content for the people who need it and show up as the real me to be able to touch people's lives and their hearts and create transformation, and showing up as the real you on a video, on camera, isn't as easy as it sounds. It can be pretty challenging. The past couple years, I haven't actually had a focus because I've been dealing with some really challenging things, and that has really become my focus, to be happy in the midst of chaos and notice, what do I have control over? Because the only thing I can control is me. And developing and maintaining that inner security and that inner knowing that I'm going to be okay no matter what is happening in my life. And I'm going to get to a place where I feel happy and loved and at peace, even though life sucks right now. And what do I have control over? Because so many things happen to us that we have zero control over, and that they can completely spin your life into a tailspin, and it can feel like utter chaos. And that has been my life for the past couple of years. And this year, what I'm going to focus on is really my health, focusing on making my body as healthy as possible. But what I realized not too long ago is that my hormones were out of whack and my body wasn't able to let go of weight. It was just holding on to everything. I wasn't eating as much as I needed to be eating and getting enough sleep, which will throw your hormones out of whack. Also, dairy was messing me up due to dairy and not getting enough sleep and just overall not prioritizing myself. So my focus is really going to be really listening to my body and tuning into what it needs and intuitively knowing what I need to eat and what is right for me. Like when it tells me when I'm tired, I'm just going to go to bed. Whether that's 9 p.m. or 11 p.m., it doesn't matter. I'm going to start actually listening to what my body is telling me and start trusting my own intuition and what I need to do to look my best. And it's not about weight. It's more about how I feel and how I look. And that's my focus. It's not some number. It's loving my body exactly the way it is, but still wanting and going after the goals that I want, of how I want to look and how I want to feel. And that's important to me. Instead of my focus is on losing weight, it's more on taking proper care and implementing self-care of my body from a loving place. It's going to increase my overall wellness and how I feel every single day. I hope this episode has inspired you to open your eyes to a new way to look at the holidays and also give you another take on how to approach New Year's resolutions so that you can create an amazing year starting on the right foot instead of beating yourself up and feeling bad about yourself, because I think you're pretty awesome. When you're ready to start getting the love and respect that you desire, and that may be attracting your dream relationship or improving the one you already have, then grab my cheat sheet below. That's going to help you get the love, the respect, and the amazing relationship that you desire. You can become the badass you've always wanted to be, punch fear in the face, and live life on your own terms. Till next time.